Do 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 do. Hey guys, what's up? Today we're doing something a little different. We're not talking about cars. We're not talking about traveling. We're not talking about Traxxas, kind of. Well, we kind of are. Okay, we're talking about Traxxas still. What I want to share with you today is how to paint an RC car body. So that's what I used to do for a living for like a year, kind of, mostly. But I painted radio control car bodies for many people and Traxxas, the company I work for now, so that they could have some custom design stuff. And I want to show you guys my process and how I do that. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you the first few things you need to start painting a body the Mike D way. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need are some bodies. So we've got this box, look for me, Mike D, that we got from somewhere, I'm not sure where, it's just whatever. But 4 bodies to paint. We've got some back here. These are maybe for a more personal project. Anyways, we're gonna be painting these 4 bodies for Traxxas today. So I'm gonna get them unboxed and get them out of their packages, and we're gonna do that right now. Done, just like that. So bodies are all out of their packages. We're gonna take them inside and wash them. Just basically some dishwashing soap and hot water. Nothing super fancy. Swirl it around inside there a little bit. Just wash out the mold release that's in there. Get them all cleaned up, dried out, mostly. Because what we're gonna be using is a product called Liquid Mask, and it is water-based-ish. I say it's water-based, I think it is. I clean it out with water. We're gonna use that on these bodies to get them prepped for paint, because we're not gonna use tape. That's an old school method. That works really well, except you get bleed under a lot on those when you're using tape. So we're gonna use Liquid Mask. It's more like a liquid latex solution that you paint inside of it. You do a couple coats, put it on real thick so that you can cut it and peel it out one step at a time. So I'll show you guys that process a little bit. And I'm gonna get inside and clean these out right now. Okay, so bodies are all clean, ready to rock, looking pretty fresh, if I do say so myself. So the next thing you're gonna need is Liquid Mask, a brush to apply it. Some people spray it on, but it goes everywhere and gets all over the entire garage and your table and everything, and your arms, everywhere. So I just brush it in with a camel hair brush, a real soft brush. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so this is actually 3 coats in on the Liquid Mask. Normally I just do 2 because it's pretty thick, and I've gotten to be where I'm pretty consistent and even with it. But this batch of it has been real thin, kind of watered down. So this is 3 coats in. It's better to go 3 coats typically, especially when you're starting out anyways, because you don't know exactly how thick you're getting it on or how even you're putting it on. And if you put it on too thin, Liquid Mask is a nightmare to get off. You'll spend all day like scraping it out of the body. You probably want to just throw the body away and start over. So this is kind of what we're looking for here. It's so hard to explain, you know, how thick you should put it on, because, you know, each batch can be a little different. Some are thin or some are thick. You can see that, you know, it's kind of this cloudy white, you know, kind of dries like glue, you know, like Elmer's glue. And as it starts to dry, you can see that it gets to be where it doesn't have kind of the white look. It kind of goes to this like kind of transparent, real light blue, kind of just frosted look almost. So that's what you're after, is that when it dries, it obviously is going to look like that, so you don't have any buildup in the corners that stay super thick. You see the thicker spots are still white, and the thin spots have already dried out. But eventually this will all dry because nothing's super thick in here. And so in the morning, because I'm going to let these dry all night, these will be perfect, nice and clear. So we're going to check back with these in the morning because it's kind of late today, and I'm not going to stay up all night. It's actually almost midnight. So we're going to let these dry all night, and we're going to come back in the morning and start drawing our designs and cutting it out, and we'll see you in 3, 2. All right, welcome back to day 2 of the awesome body painting video. So you can see these are all pretty clear now, like pretty see-through-ish. You know, good enough. So what we're gonna do now is take our Sharpie, draw on the outside. We're gonna draw some flames on this one maybe, or I don't know, some kind of generic dragster type graphics on it. We're gonna do the windows clear, paint some flames, maybe detail the grill and the lights and stuff on this, and do that to each one of these. But I'm just going to show you kind of the process just on one for now. I don't think you need to see me do it 4 times. That seems a little boring. So here we go. So just so you guys can see, what I do after I get, you know, one side fully painted is I hold up the whole body and everything to the light. Let's see if I can do this. So I take the whole body, hold it up to the light, and I can see through. You can see that line where it's not completely lined up. So I hold it where I can see through the body, see through to the other side, so you'll be able to line that up so that I can make a mirror image of that for the other side. So I stick it on here, and I can line it up on that side just like that. Real simple. I usually give myself, you know, some reference lines. So like if you look at the body, you know, this crease that's here, I'll throw this back on here in just a second, and I'll line this up, and then I'll make that mark on here so that I know exactly where to line it up on the other side. Super easy, super simple. That's the way I do every one of these. It's really simple, especially when you do it on a body where you're just going to do flames, because flames don't have to be perfect. They'll look good enough even if they're off just a little bit, because they're flames. They don't have to be perfect. So I'm going to transfer those to the other side now, and then we'll start cutting this thing out. Okay, so all of our lines are drawn on there on both sides, right? Did some lines around the windows just for reference, just so it's a little easier to see where I'm gonna cut that stuff out. So a lot of you probably haven't painted an RC car body before. The paint is all on the inside, so like you saw me masking off like the inside of this body, right? In here. Well, that's because all the paint goes on the inside, so I'm gonna cut this liquid mask with the X-acto knife. Right, I'm gonna cut all this with an X-acto knife in here. I'm gonna actually double cut these lines about 1/8 of an inch apart to make a little pinstripe on there too. So we're gonna do like, I don't know the colors yet, but let's pretend this is gonna be a red body with an orange and yellow flame, like a normal paint job. I'm gonna make that pinstripe a different color, black, you know, green, whatever. I don't know what colors yet. Haven't really decided. It's kind of up to me to do these bodies however I want, but we needed them to be simple, kind of dragster, kind of old school hot rod style. So anyway, so we're gonna cut this out with an X-acto knife real carefully. We just do a brand new blade, and we just barely run the weight, maybe a little more pressure than the weight of the X-acto knife, so that we don't score the body. You do score it a little bit. I mean, it's kind of impossible to not score the plastic a little bit, but you want to do it as little as possible so that it doesn't break on those score lines, because it'll actually cut the body, and when this body hits something hard enough, that cut is kind of the weakest point, and it'll split right where you cut that line. And that's definitely happened to my paint jobs in the past. It's just part of kind of painting these the way that we do. So the only big trick here is having a steady hand when you cut. That's the biggest problem when you're using liquid mask is, well, for one, if you don't get it on thick enough, that's a nightmare. But if you get it on thick enough and you go to cut it and everything, if you don't have a steady hand when you're cutting, it's just not going to look good. There's no way around it. So we're going to get to cutting this, and then we'll be ready for paint. All right, see you in a second. Okay, so the next step after, you know, everything's cut, all the lines cut, windows, flames, headlight, grill, so on and so forth, is to peel the liquid mask out. So it peels out kind of like Elmer's glue when it's stuck on your finger and you like peel off that little like layer that you've let dry on there. It's almost exactly the same, a little bit thicker than that. So we're going to start peeling now and get the first layer, which is going to be black. So you paint everything in reverse. Black first, so darkest color first, and then so on and so forth until you get to white, essentially, whatever your last final color will be. So we're going to peel out everything that's going to be black, which is the majority of the body. We're going to peel out first and leave just the flames and the pinstripe and the grills, because they're going to be painted chrome. So we're going to do that now. All right. Like that, it's all, you can see kind of how it's shiny, except for the spots that still have liquid mask on them. So all that shiny spot, all the shiny parts are peeled out, and just what's left is the liquid mask that covers what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to paint all of this black and then peel off the next layer of liquid mask for the next step, which will be the red outline around the flames. Or maybe I'll do the chrome next. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. So now it's on to paint. All right, here goes. Okay, so black is all done, 2 coats, all dry, ready to peel off the pinstripe that's going to be red. So we're going to do that now, and then on to chrome, and then orange and and yellow flames, and then white to back everything and do the headlights. The headlights are going to be white too. So, alright. On to red pinstripes. Ready, set, go. Okay, so, alright, so we're moving on to chrome. So everywhere that is supposed to be chrome is now peeled off. Alright, we're going to chrome around the headlights, the bumper, and those front grills, as well as everything around the window trim and the rear bumper is going to get done. So what's cool about chrome is it's kind of just like it's like a two-step process, but it works so well. It's called Ultimate Mirror Chrome. It's by Spastics. So this stuff, I just buy it in the spray can. You can buy it in, you know, airbrush form also. But then you've got to stop, clean out the airbrush, throw this on in, paint with it, stop, clean out the airbrush, onto the next color. Where if you just spray it with this, you're just done. Spray it, move on to the next color, no cleaning of the airbrush whatsoever, and it looks just as good. So I always spray with the aerosol because why not? It's stuff's not cheap. I think, yeah, this is $12.99 a can from wherever I bought it from. I don't remember. But you go through it pretty quick. It sprays on really, really fast, but it looks awesome. It really adds a lot to the detail of the cars, especially when you're doing something like this. It's supposed to look kind of realistic. So anyway, so we're going to spray that. Everything I've been spraying has been water-based, like non-toxic, so on and so forth. So I spray it inside and don't really worry about a respirator or something. I'm going to go spray this outside. Sure, I should probably put on a respirator, but I'm not going to. I'll just hold my breath or something. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so we're going to go outside and take care of this. Alright, so just like that, chrome is done. So you can see how reflective it is on the inside of the body, but on the outside of the body, it's super chrome. Right, so I mean, it just adds a lot of effect for almost no work, like very little work. It's just really nice. And this still has the kind of bluish tint overspray film on the body, so when we peel it off, it's gonna look real nice. So anyway, so that's the stage we're at right now. We're about to peel off the last step, which is gonna be the orange to yellow flames, and that'll get backed with white. I'll kind of back the whole body with white, and we'll be done. Okay, so we've got everything ready for basically the final stage, which is white. So we're going to back the yellow and orange with white, and we're going to paint the white in the headlights there. And we're going to back all of the chrome areas with white, because if you don't back the chrome, it kind of comes off on your fingers. Like if I do that, you can kind of see it smear a little bit in there. And it comes off on your finger a little bit. So it kind of, I don't know, kind of wears off or something if you don't back it. And you're supposed to back it with water-based paint. So like all these airbrush paints I'm using are water-based. You can spray it back there and it doesn't affect the chrome look of it. Certain paints, spray can, aerosol stuff, if you just spray that directly on the chrome without having backed it with anything else, it will kind of dull it and almost make it like a satin finish or something. Instead of a mirror chrome, it looks more just like silver. So we don't want that. So we're gonna back everything with regular airbrush fast color white, water-based, you know. And then I'm gonna bust out some Tamiya white just to coat the entire underside of the car, so it's all coated with like a good hard aerosol paint instead of just water-based stuff. So we're gonna spray the water-based white right now, head outside, back everything with the Tamiya white, and we're gonna be done, and we're gonna peel this overspray off and show you the final product. So we'll be right back. All right, so we're all done. We got the inside coated with white. Outside's looking pretty good. Right, so all that's left is to peel off the overspray film and we're done. So here goes. Just like that, she's looking mighty nice. So now you can see the detail from the orange shell. It doesn't show up as good on camera. You don't get the contrast like you do in real life, but the orange yellow with the red tips, got the chrome around the windows. I still have to peel out the overspray or the liquid mask that's on the windows, so it'll be completely clear, but we'll show you that in the final shot. But yeah, pretty nice looking. In the rear, just tail light section with the chrome bumper, you know, so not too shabby. So that's it. All that's left is to peel out the window masks still that are in there, and we'll have clear windows, and of course cut it out, which is probably the worst part about any of these bodies that aren't pre-cut, is then having to cut out this super thick plastic. But otherwise, the paint job's done. We're gonna move on to those three up there and get those ready to go and work on those. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully it's kind of a good, gives you a good idea of what it takes to paint one of these bodies. This was not super complicated. This is very basic actually. You know, give you an idea of how to use liquid mask. But anyways, guys, I hope you like this video. If you want to see more how-to or tutorial videos on how to paint, let me know. Leave a note in the comments and I'll do more of these. Hope you guys liked the video. That's all for today, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.